Okie dokie, boys and girls, it is day 3 of Timmy's training, and well, today I just want to talk about a routine, a leg day routine that I've started to love more and more, especially during my trip in Japan. And it's this leg day routine that you can basically do with any exercise that is singular limb focused. So, whether it's the pistol squat like I'm doing, or it's the lunge, or reverse lunge, walking lunge, or maybe even calf raises. I don't know. As long as it's an exercise with a singular limb, you can do this routine. And basically, it's very simple. You set your timer for a certain amount of time. In my case, I did 10 minutes, but perhaps you can do 5 or you can do 20, and then you pick a certain pace. So on Google or on YouTube, you can search for example, for 20 BPM, which is 20 beats per minute, aka 1 beat every 3 seconds. And then you can just do 1 rep every time the beep goes, right? And well, I chose every 3 seconds, but you can go quicker, you can go slower. You can basically play around with it to adjust the progression of an exercise, or you can play around with the exercise, you can play around with the pace to make this routine suitable for you, right? And the great thing about this, the reason I love it so much, is because it just builds a general fitness. I feel like you're doing the pistol squat, or in my case the pistol squat, you could be doing the lunge, but because it's a singular limb exercise and you're doing it alternating style, you basically have alternating rest in between, or active rest in between, because you're alternating your leg. If I'm doing a pistol squat on my left leg, my right leg is resting. If I do the pistol squat on my right leg, my left leg is resting. And so you're constantly moving, but you're also constantly resting. And, when the 10 minutes are over, you will notice, or at least I notice, that my quadriceps are not necessarily burning, but my, my heart is going quite fast. It's cardio. Once, you might think like, hey, my legs aren't this tired. Like, is this effective? But then, you go down the stairs and you will realize like, oh, they're feeling heavy now, right? And there's this general fatigue. It's building work capacity, which is, something I really love. And I feel like if you do this a lot, you will kind of get the same effect as you would with any type of volume calisthenics. Whereas, for example, I built my chest using push-up volume. I was doing hundreds of reps in a single session. And in the end, even though it's not the ideal rep range, so to speak, for building muscle, my chest got bigger. And I feel like doing these capacity workouts with body weight, something about them builds muscle anyway, even though scientifically speaking, it's not the optimal way. And yeah, at the same time, you're just, building that capacity as well. So it's functional too. And that's why I really love it. And, today I just did like 10 minutes, once every 3 seconds, 1 rep. So it's 100 pistol squats on each leg. It's nothing insane. Like, I'm not that tired. I can do it again tomorrow. But, you can adjust the difficulty, like I said, you can increase the pace. I can search on YouTube for 22 beats per minute, and then I would have 110 reps in 10 minutes, right? And basically, by increasing the difficulty of your exercise, whether it's with weight or another exercise, a different exercise, or, you're increasing the pace, or you're increasing the amount of total time that you're doing it. Let's say I do this for 20 minutes, my legs are going to be sore as hell, right? You can, there's so many ways to progress, and that's why I really love this. So I would say, try it out, right? And perhaps it works for other body parts as well, maybe like 1-arm push-ups or something, I don't know. But just try it, it's this variation of strength endurance, just like EMOM, EMOM as well is a form of strength endurance, a form of building volume in calisthenics that will give you an insane amount of work capacity. I feel like this is just another variation of that, but definitely give it a go and let me know how it goes. But anyway, that's it for today's training. I'm gonna have some dinner and I'll see you tomorrow for a push day.